When Nintendo announced their plans for Super Smash Bros. For 3DS, a lot of people were skeptical. There's never been a portable Smash Bros. Before, primarily due to the lack of a control stick on previous handhelds, and while Super Smash Bros. Brawl was a financial and critical success, the majority of the competitive community quickly grew lukewarm towards it, opting to either return to Melee for the GameCube or the infamous Project M mod. The fractured fanbase spanning across these three radically different versions of the game, Nintendo's put themselves in a position that makes it near impossible to please everyone. While not perfect, Super Smash Bros. For 3DS is as close to a perfect portable version of Smash you can get today. Super Smash Bros. Is a series of platform fighting games where the object is to knock your opponent off of the stage. Up to 4 players can be on the stage, and victory comes from either being the last man standing or having the most points at the end of the time limit. The main element that separates Smash from other fighting games is its lack of health bar. Instead, fighters take a percentage of damage when hit that makes it easier for them to be knocked off the stage. Items, which can be turned on or off, can help lower your percentage or be used as weapons against your opponents and, occasionally, yourself. Unlike Super Smash Bros. Brawl, there is no new game-changing mechanic like the final Smash, where you earn a powerful attack by capturing the Smash Ball. Instead, director Masahiro Sakurai and the development team at Namco Bandai have wisely chosen to double down on refining the core gameplay. Smash for 3DS has directly answered almost all the complaints that the competitive community has made about Brawl. Smash for 3DS is faster, it has more offensive options, brings back the juggling and combos found in Melee, has improved online play, stages have a final destination form that allows otherwise gimmicky courses that cause cheap deaths to be tournament playable, and has the most balanced roster ever made for a Smash Bros. Game. Gone are the days of banning Meta Knight and Fox Mirror matches on the same semi-static background, as almost every character on this roster is viable. These tweaks make for an experience that raises the skill ceiling for competitive players without sacrificing the chaotic gameplay that has made the series famous amongst the more casual. All the old single-player modes have returned, and the new 3DS exclusive Smash Run allows players to relive the best part of Kirby Air Ride, the City Trial mode, in a more exciting way. I put hundreds of hours into that game mode back in the day with my younger brothers. I'm sure that once they get their own copies of Smash for 3DS, that we'll end up dumping a few hundred more into this one. But truth be told, the majority of my time with the game has been spent in the online lobbies. The game is split into 2, for fun and for glory, allowing you to choose between a more casual or a more competitive matchup. Think of For Glory as a ranked mode. The online experience has vastly improved over Brawl, but there is still the occasional laggy matchup due to the nature of peer-to-peer connections. Unlike Brawl though, the game is still playable when the lag happens, and you can get to the end without it feeling too cheap. It's a problem that has me a bit worried for the Wii U version that's coming out later in the year, but I do want to believe that this is the result of a hardware limitation of the 3DS. Time will tell soon enough, but what is here makes it that much easier to get connected with other players, and that alone makes this a must-have for Smash fans. Smash 3DS gives players the full experience at a beautiful, stable frame rate of 60 frames per second. What makes it a technological marvel, though, is that the system is pulling this off even in 3D mode, where the game never drops a frame. The graphical style is also adjustable, allowing you to choose the thickness of the borders around your characters if you need help seeing the characters on your tiny screen. I play on the 3DS XL, and I've had no issues seeing any of the action, but I could see how this might affect those playing on the original version of the system. So it's nice the option is there. As always, the Smash Bros. Titles are a tribute to the versatility and unity found in Nintendo's artists, as nothing in the game stands out as not belonging in this massive crossover title. This is one of the best looking games on the system, and clearly pushes the system to its limits, as its lengthy startup time will show you. If you notice your 3DS taking a bit longer to exit and enter the game, don't worry, your system is not dying. The game is launching a light version of the operating system to give the game access to more power on the console, so it can run its glorious optimized state. Unfortunately though, because it's such a demanding game, some elements had to be cut. Character transformations and the ice climbers were removed due to hardware limitations. Circle Pad Pro support doesn't exist because the peripheral apparently eats 10% of the hardware's processing power, making the new 3DS the only way to execute smash attacks on the fly with a second stick. There's also no story mode, nor is one planned for the upcoming Wii U version, so those looking for a new Subspace Emissary mode will be deeply disappointed. The menus are extremely bare modes, and some modes like Classic Mode are buried in the Games and More tab. It's something that's a bit odd when you consider that most handheld games are primarily single-player affairs. There's also no flashy cutscenes to be found anywhere in the game, not even in the intro. Stages are also a bit on the small side, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, as had they been any bigger, characters might have been a bit harder to see. All these issues can be somewhat forgiven, but ultimately, the biggest problem with this game is the 3DS's physical design. While the game is perfectly playable in short bursts, numerous players have reported getting hand cramps from playing the game during long sessions, myself included. Others have also reported that their circle pads have broken from overstress on the top portion, breaking the plastic lid off. These aren't isolated cases, so be sure to be more careful when playing this game and taking plenty of breaks. The circle pad itself is also not an ideal method of input for smash attacks, so you'll probably need some time to get adjusted to it. The true concern will come when the new 3DS launches next year, as the second stick will give those players a distinct advantage over those playing on the older hardware, especially in competitive matchups. It's very clear that Super Smash Bros. For 3DS is meant to serve as a teaser for the upcoming Smash Bros. For Wii U. But even if that game weren't coming out, it would not change the fact that the 3DS version is by far my favorite version of Smash to date. Sakurai and the folks at Namco Bandai have brought back the competitive spirit that Melee nurtured in many of us upon its release, but kept the more diverse roster and chaos of Brawl in a way that allows them to coexist. I cannot recommend this game enough. Seeing as there's no story mode, I will not be assigning it a rating in this category. The balanced gameplay that makes the transition to a handheld seamlessly receives a 9.5, but external hardware issues bring the otherwise spectacular design down to a 7.75. Iffy menus drag the presentation down to a 6.5, but the graphical prowess and rock-solid performance demand a graphical score of 9.5. And the focus on the multitude of multiplayer modes ensures that you'll be playing this game for a very long time, earning that coveted 10 out of 10 of replay value. Overall, I'm giving Super Smash Bros. For 3DS a solid 8.5 out of 10 and strongly recommend picking this game up. This is a must-have for the system, and it has me that much more excited for when the Wii U version drops on November 21st. Hope to see you guys all online soon. I'm JD, kicking it back to you guys.